And press play or no?
No, we're ready.
Okay.
We're live. Okay,
Woo!
I don't ever sit here, but we're here on the Off the Cuff show with Masai Lincoln, and I'm here with my good friend May, and I know her from TV and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What have you been up to?
I've been at work all day.
By the way, May watches this show more than anyone. I mean, I'm
the number one fan.
Yeah, I was surprised because I mean, I think on like YouTube, I don't know how many people actually listen to this show, but like on YouTube, I always post it every week, and I get like, I don't know, 14 viewers. But I had no idea you've seen like every single episode
Yeah.
or something. I don't know why.
No, super fan.
Did you find any of it interesting at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's great.
Well, you were saying you want to add some segments and stuff. So what did you want to add, seeing as you know everything? So what did you want to add?
No, because I was feeling apprehensive, I just thought
Yeah.
we could do like a quick fire round of questions.
Yeah.
But we don't have to.
I didn't realise that this actually is on a slope. I've never sat in for
No,
my chair.
I'm, like,
My
falling
chair,
down
my
the
chair
hill.
keeps turning. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. What was I going to ask you? So,
Do you not want to do my quick fire questions?
do you want to do it now? Okay. Yeah. Ask me anything. Go for it.
Okay.
Off the cuff. Go for it.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Do you know what? That's funny answer. Keep turning. It's funny you asked me this. My biggest pet peeve is driving in London and people don't indicate, and then they turn without people.
Is that a London thing?
Yeah, I think so. Because when I was working on Big Brother, obviously a lot of the job you're running, so you're always driving around London, just all, and especially when you get more central, a lot of the roads are 20s, and a lot of the roads are just loads and loads of traffic, and a lot of people are like just driving as quickly as they can, and they don't indicate, and then they just turn. It just drives me insane. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Because it's dangerous.
It's just rude. Like, let me set this as recording. Sorry. Yeah, it's recording. I have this fear every single week. Yeah, it's just rude, and that's my biggest pet peeve.
Okay, fair enough.
What next? What you got for me?
What is the most common misconception about you?
Do you know what? I think the biggest misconception about me is.
God, your answers are so quick. I can't believe you don't even have to think about it.
Well,
You're not even taking a second.
I don't have to revise to know myself. Do you know what I mean? I know what I like. The biggest misconception about me is that people think I'm, I'd say, always joking, which is true to an extent. People don't take me seriously, and that I'm very, I'd say, immature, and that I'm lazy. I think a lot of people think I'm lazy.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you're so obviously not.
I know. I mean, yeah, I know that. But do you know what I mean? I think a lot of people think that I'm a bit short. Yeah, this is blocking the thing. A lot of people think that they think I'm lazy and I don't work hard for whatever reason. But I do.
What do they base that on?
I think basically because I do like to have a laugh and have a good time, but I do really prioritise hard work, 100%. But I think a lot of people don't think I do.
Really?
Yeah,
That surprises
I'm
me.
enjoying these. What other questions have you got for me? Because no one ever asks me questions. It's usually me asking everybody else.
Well, that's why I'm in this seat.
Oh, I know.
Mixing it up. What was another one? Oh yeah, what's your favourite compliment to receive?
Two. I got two.
Okay.
That I'm funny
Yeah.
and that I'm good looking.
Yeah.
Those are my two favourites.
I kind of feel like they're the best ones in the world.
But if I was to get another one, I'd say people saying that I'm talented.
What do you want to be talented at?
This, broadcasting, working, talking.
Yeah.
That's it. I've never wanted to do anything else. So
Yeah.
those two things, 100%.
Yeah. Fair enough.
How long have you been? Sorry, actually, ask me some more. I want to do some more, then I'll wait till I ask you something. Go ahead. I'm enjoying this actually. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but yeah, go for it.
I can't really think of it. Let me even think. Your favourite food? Your favourite meal?
Okay. Oh, well, I've got two.
Okay. You've
So-
got two for.
Yeah. So the favourite one that my mum makes, but we only have it like twice a year. Roast lamb.
Why twice a year?
Because we only really have it on special occasions like Christmas or if it's on offer, like a leg of lamb.
Do you have that instead of turkey?
Yeah, turkey's dry. We don't have turkey on Christmas in my house.
Really?
We have
lamb every year?
lamb every single year.
Oh,
and
okay.
if there's a lot of us, say like my nans and my uncles come, we'll have lamb and beef.
Oh, that's nice.
Amazing. And then if we're talking like takeaways and or like whatever, Morley's 100%.
Really? I've never had that, you know.
There's one near your house, isn't there?
Oh, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're only in South London, but there's one in Harlesden, and they opened one somewhere else in East London, I think. But
where in Harlesden? Would I know it?
Nah, because do you know the High Street quite well? Harlesden High Street.
No.
Okay, it's there, base just off of the High Street.
Okay.
There's it's near like a little Tesco.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I never tried it.
It will change your life.
Really?
It's way better than KFC, like a million times better.
I don't love
That's a
KFC.
fact, by the way. That's a fact. You don't like KFC? Well, you're like a vegan or something, aren't you? You're from Bristol, so.
I was vegetarian for like 8 years.
Oh, when did?
I stopped in COVID.
Oh, that's good. Oh, well done you. Okay. I thought you were like one of these like wimps that are like, oh, you know, they changed to whatever. My mum
What
had
do you mean?
like my mum
Changed
had
what?
my mum had the opposite thing. Like she makes all of our meals.
I know.
Quite traditional.
I would like to talk about that actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're gonna grill me. But when she gave birth to my younger sister, which was 12 years ago now, she didn't eat meat for like 7 or 8 years. She just lost all her appetite for meat.
Oh really?
Yeah, and we eat meat literally constantly in our house. She eats it again now.
She just didn't feel like it.
Yeah, it's her appetite. She said her thingy for meat just completely went. And we used to have meat every single day. We still do.
Yeah.
But she did as well. And she said, yeah, since she gave birth to her, my younger sister, for some reason, she just had
That's
no
so
cravings for it at all.
What does she have instead when you guys?
She would just have more veg. Like she loves veggie and vegan. So like my aunt's been a vegan for like 30 plus years.
Oh wow.
And like my mum loves all veggie meals anyway.
Yeah.
And she just ate more of that sort of thing. And
okay, yeah.
Yeah, just things like that.
Will she make a separate meal to what she's making you guys?
Yeah. So say for example, yeah, but there's so many veggie meals that you can have out there. I mean, I like veggie food, but I just love meat so much. But I do love veggie stuff.
Yeah.
And do you know what's funny? There are some things that I prefer that are the other ones. Like there are these veggie sausages. I think you can get from Tesco. They're better than regular sausages, and I eat
Which
sausages all the time.
ones? Is it the shroom ones?
I can't remember. I have to ask my friend's mum. Because when I live with them,
Are they Tesco own brand?
I believe so. Because I looked in
Shroom ones are really
I worked
nice.
in Sainsbury's for 8 years, and I couldn't find them there. They're really good. How's the protein bar, by the way?
I haven't tried it yet. Should I do a taste test?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go. Nature Valley should sponsor us. This is good.
Yeah. I love peanuts so much.
Oh, you're not allergic, are you?
No.
Oh,
Why would I love peanuts if I was allergic?
I thought you were just making a joke, and I was just like, oh, yeah, swore. I thought you was being sarcastic. Okay, fine, good.
No, I love it.
Good.
I love peanuts and I love chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
You got any more quick fire questions for me? I'm enjoying this actually.
When did you decide you wanted to work in broadcasting?
Oh, I'd say since I was about. I always knew. I think when I was like a young child, because for some reason, like when you're really young and they would ask you at school, what do you want to do when you're older? I always, obviously, every boy wants to be a footballer sort of thing, and I love sports.
Yeah.
But obviously, I knew I was going to be a sportsman. And I've always loved sports, and I've always loved talking, obviously, as you can tell. And I was just like, I want to do something like that. And when they would ask you what you want to do as a regular job, I always thought regular jobs were just not for me. I knew I wasn't going to work a regular job.
Really?
Yeah, I just knew that I wasn't going to do. Not that there's anything wrong against working a regular job. Like some of my friends have like really well-paying jobs, but to me it's just boring. Like I want to do something where it's exciting, and I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
And I always knew. And I think when I saw other people doing things, like I would listen to like radio stations or watch TV shows, and I think I could do that. Why not? And I would when I was 14, what year are you in? I was in year 10. My younger brother, he was really good at football, and he actually used to play for academies. Like he played for Chelsea, he played for Brighton, and he was really good at football. But he didn't have the passion for it, and he didn't take it very seriously, so he never made it. But I genuinely, me and my dad always say he could have been like a really good footballer.
Wow.
Didn't take it seriously enough. But if I had that passion, I would have been a footballer. But I didn't have that ability, sort of thing.
Why not?
Football ability, you got to be it's like natural, and also
like genes.
Yeah, like well, I've got the same genes as him. You can practice as much as you can, but there's a level to how good you can be, and he just had that ability to be a special player, I think.
But why do you have that?
I don't know.
Is it like body shape?
No, it's not, because football is one of those sports where if you look at a football team, you get small guys, tall guys, fast guys, slow guys. He's just the ball at his feet. He was just brilliant, better than the average person. You can train really well at anything and be good at it. But football and other sports, you have like a natural talent. Most of the players, when they were kids, they were better than everyone. There's always a kid that's better than everyone. Yeah. And he was one of those kids. He'd be playing with boys that are way older than him, sort of thing. Wow. But he just didn't have the dedication where he didn't want to sort of do it, sort of thing.
Just didn't care enough.
Yeah, and now it's funny. Like me and my dad, we would be watching football every day, watching all the games, getting really passionate about it. He'd be in his room, not really caring about football. But as he's gotten older and he stepped away from football, he loves football. Like he's as obsessed with it as me, which is ironic, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say. So when I was in year 10, I had this game called FIFA 12, like a football game, and I was obsessed with it. I love this game. Spent hours and hours and hours playing it. And it was half term, and I wanted to play it for 2 weeks. But then I couldn't for a week because my younger brother had a football tournament with his school in the Netherlands because he was really good at football.
Wow.
And he went to like, at the time, like quite a posh private school.
Oh.
And they were like a really big sports school. And he was
South London?
Yeah, in South Croydon, which is like a bit more posher area.
Okay.
And he was there and they went to Netherlands and I had to go with my mum and dad. And I really didn't want to go because I wanted to play that game and I was just like, I'm going to go to Netherlands to watch football, watch kids play football. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, my dad bought me an iPad to sort of cheer me up. And on the way there, we were listening to this radio station called TalkSport. And it was just people phoning in about football and talking about football all day long on all of these shows. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And I was like, I want to do that when I'm older. And from then, I sort of always...
14.
Yeah, and obviously earlier, I always knew I wanted to work in entertainment and sort of like broadcasting / TV.
Yeah.
But from then, I was like, wow, like these are just regular people. Why can't I do that sort of thing?
Yeah.
And as I've expanded it, as I've gotten older and I've got interested in more sports, and not even just sports, I'm just interested in broadcasting in general.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I've always wanted to do. And as I've gotten more experience and stuff, just working in the industry or looking at other people thinking, oh, I could do podcasting or I could do radio station. I know I could do that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have said to me, even just working in TV and stuff, I remember when I was first working in TV on that internship, one of the development producers was saying to me, well, your best skill definitely, because I was like, I don't really find development that interesting.
Chatting all the time.
He said, yeah, he said to me, your best skill is you can talk. You can talk.
Just talk the whole time.
Yeah, like I don't ever run out of things. I was like, yeah, I know, like that's what I'm good at. And he was like, you need to use that to your advantage. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And he was like, just make sure you do that. And I was like, yeah, I'll figure it out. Because I've always wanted to have my own show and then get on mainstream television, mainstream radio. Yeah. And yeah, that's been the goal. And I think I'm going to get there. I mean, a lot of people don't think I will.
Aww,
Maybe they, not that
maybe
people,
haters.
no, I don't have any. But I think obviously it's a far-fetched idea.
Yeah.
But I'm so sure that I'm going to be the most famous guy in the world or the most rich or whatever. But I guarantee, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, whatever it will be, I guaranteed I'll be getting paid to be doing this full time. Because there was a point where I've only been working in TV for a year and a half, nearly 2 years. Yeah. I was so desperate to be in TV and I still do want to work in TV. But it took me like 3-4 years of just pure rejection to get to where I was, to get to an internship. You know what I'm saying? So once I was in, I couldn't believe I was in. And now I'm here. I'm like, well, I'm in. So now the next step. And then once I get past that, it's the next step. Because now I've got my own show. And now I want to interview more people. And now I want to speak to as many people as I can. So that's what I want to do. So for me, it's a very clear path. And you know what? It's actually funny you answer that. So I'm going off a bit of a tangent.
No,
it's nice. I've actually been kind of interviewed, even though I'm the interviewer. But I was... my favourite artist, musical artist, is Kanye West.
Same.
I know he's insane now. Like he's
no, I'm obsessed with this.
Yeah, but he's crazy. Like
he's nuts.
And I love him, but he's crazy. Like you can't.
No, his music.
You can't justify a lot of the stuff that he's said.
Yeah.
Anyway, about 2 years ago, there was this. Have you seen the Kanye documentary on Netflix called Genius?
Yeah, I didn't like it though.
You didn't like it?
I got really bored after the first half an hour.
Oh my goodness! How? It's so good.
I can't remember.
Okay, well, the first episode. Spoiler alert. He's Kanye's in this. He's a producer for all these big rappers like Jay-Z and whoever else, Pharrell, all of these guys. But he wants to be a rapper, and no one's taking him seriously. And he's saying, "I want to be a rapper. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll rap for you. This and that." But on his days off, he's like driving to every record station, to every rapper, and like, "Give me 5 minutes. I'll do this and that." And I was in the bath because I like to have this weekly baths where I watch something.
Oh, I know.
You've seen them on my Instagram,
yeah.
So I'll go in the bath for like 3-4 hours, and I'm just watching.
Wait, what?
I do it every week. I've been doing it for years.
4 hours?
Well, to be honest, most times it's 3.5.
Does your skin not?
Yeah, but as soon as you get when you get out, it's only the fingertips, and then once you get out, it's fine.
Do you not hate that feeling though of the wrinkles on your hands?
I don't even notice it.
Really?
I always
4 hours.
I always forget about it until people like you bring it up, trying to bring me down. But yeah.
Sorry, that's a really long time. I'm quite shocked by that. 4 hours. I assumed it was like an hour max.
An hour? I might as well just go for
Every week you do that for 4 hours.
Well, I did it this week, but the last couple of weeks I haven't because the weather's just been too hot.
And what do you do for 4 hours?
So what I usually do is for the first 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I'll watch like a series / documentary. Okay. And then for the last hour and a half, I'll just listen to music because I have 2 phones, as you can see. But my phone with all the apps on, which is recording this, I don't want to get distracted. I don't want to be texting people. I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to be on Twitter.
Why not?
because it's just I just want to relax.
It's like your meditation time.
Yeah, and also when I'm watching the show, the series I'm watching, I want to be locked in, fully locked in.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So I bring it into the bathroom with me, but where my bath is, I put it way behind me, so I would have to physically get out of the bath to listen or like go on it. Then I've got my other phone, which doesn't have any apps on it.
Yeah.
And it just has, well, it has Spotify on there, but we've got a speaker in our bathroom on the ceiling.
Oh wow.
So I've connected it when I'm done listening to my show, just play music for an hour and a half, close my eyes, and then get out. And then, yeah.
Do the other people in your house not mind you being in there for 4 hours?
Why would they mind?
In case they want to use the bathroom.
We've got other bathrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, so before when we only had one, there was a point where like the other one upstairs didn't work and the downstairs one was getting fixed. We only had one. It would be a bit annoying. That's why I'd have to time it of when I needed to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, or I would do it when everyone's at work, sort of thing. So, but yeah, sorry, went off on a bit of a tangent there. So this Kanye documentary, he's on his days off, he's driving to every record label saying, "I want to work for you. I want to be a rapper or whatever." And I was sort of at a point where I was really trying to get into TV, and this was 6 months before I got into TV. And I was like watching this documentary, and I was actually welling up because I was like, I feel like I'm working hard, which I was.
Yeah.
But this guy's really working hard. Like he's on it. He's doing no days off. He's going to everyone and speaking to everybody. And I was like, I'm not doing anything close to that. I'm applying for a few jobs here and there. I'm averaging an interview every 3-4 months, but I'm not doing the extra. And then I decided from watching that, I was like, okay, every time I've got a day off, because my days at working at Sainsbury's were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. So I was like, okay, I've got 2 days, Thursday, Friday, where I need to be doing something which can help me get a job in TV. And that is exactly what I did. So I would drive to every company I wanted to work for, not drive, but I would go get the train to every company I'd want to work for, get up early, like 7 or 8 o'clock, put on a nice suit, and then go to everywhere I wanted to work. And try and just say, can I speak to someone, hand out my CV or whatever?
In a suit.
Yeah,
So
and it would be free. This was like winter time, so I was freezing cold as well. And I put on like these, I put on these really posh shoes. And you know what? I actually didn't get anywhere, but I did at the time. I was applying for this thing at Banijay, this internship. Which, by the way, if anyone that wants to work on TV, they've advertised it again for people that want to do it for next year.
I saw that.
And I was just like, I got it eventually, and that's what got me in. And I was just like, wow.
How do you think you got it in the end?
Do you know what? Do you know what? A lot of perseverance, but I think I learned from the first times I had interviews in TV and I didn't quite get it. So my first interview for a TV job was actually in, so I graduated uni summer of 2018, but so I graduated 6 years ago. Yeah, I'm born in 96, so I graduated in 2018. Aren't we the same age?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I graduated.
I graduated in 2020. How does that work?
Did you start university a year late? My course was 3 years. Maybe your course was longer.
Okay. Yeah. No,
what year did you start university? I started in 2015.
I'm really bad with dates. I actually never know anything like that.
Okay, so maybe you got it wrong. I don't. Wait, well, maybe you done
I
it.
graduated in 2020 though, because it was COVID.
So what year did you start uni? It must have been at least 2016 or 2017.
Yeah.
No.
I went to Scotland, so I had to do 4 years, so that's probably why.
Okay, so I'm guessing you might have done like a gap year and then started in 2016.
Yeah. Wow, you graduated so much earlier than me. That's mad.
Only 2 years. 2 years is not a long time when you think about it.
I know, but at that age, it's quite a long time.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But the first 6 months, I always knew I wanted to work in television / media /
What did you study at uni? Did you do
media and communication? So it was a bit of TV, a bit of film, screenwriting, things like that.
Nice.
And I enjoyed it. But if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have went to university because I would be.
Would you have just started?
But I didn't know and obviously my parents didn't go to university, so they didn't know any better. They just think, it's more education.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any better. And even though I always knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know the route into television sort of thing and / media. So I was like, okay, cool. And then for the first 6 months, because I'd been doing education for so many years, I was like, I just want to break. And I was working throughout my whole uni thing as well. Like I enjoyed it because I liked having money. I didn't like being like a broke student. That life never appealed to me. I liked having a car and going out with my friends on the weekend and stuff. So I was just like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. First 6 months, I didn't apply for anything. And then my aunt sent me this place, like this link to this place. She heard it from like a friend that she worked with called Creative Access. She was like, oh, you should apply here. They've got like some TV internships and stuff. Yeah. That's why I've got a lot of my interviews and stuff from there. It's really good. I check there all the time. Yeah. So I actually got this interview at BBC Sport for like a 3 to 6 month internship in Manchester to do BBC Sport.
Oh wow.
But they wanted part of the interview is they wanted an original idea that they could put on their broadcasting to do with sport. Mm-hmm. And I was a bit like.
Do your listeners know that you're big into sport broadcasting?
Yeah, I mean, most of the episodes are about sport.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean.
So this is your dream.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, this is perfect. But I kind of, this isn't going to make any sense to a lot of people. But when I was preparing for the interview, I did prepare. I started preparing really well, but I had weeks to prepare. I had like 3 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
For the first week and a half, I was like, okay, I'm preparing, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do all my research. But the idea was kind of escaping me a little bit. And then I was a bit hesitant to really, really go above and beyond.
Wait, so what was the brief, sorry?
From what I remember, it was something like, what's something that we can put on our airwaves or some sort of angle that we can... And it would be like a fresh idea, new from like any sport or whatever. What would you want to see? What would be good? It was quite hard.
TV?
TV, no, it was like TV / all of their sort of channels kind of thing, whether it be iPlayer or anything, just anything. It was quite vague, but it was quite open-ended. And I was a bit like, ooh, I don't have any ideas. And then, anyway, I kind of just went in there and I didn't really have a proper idea. And the reason why I didn't really force myself to come up with like a really solid idea is because, well, if I don't get it, I can have an excuse that I didn't really try. So when I didn't get it, I actually wasn't that disappointed because I was like, I knew I didn't try my best. Yeah. Anyway, a year later, it took me a whole year to get like a really good interview. So it was this thing at STV, like another development internship. So it was slightly different, but it was perfect. I love TV as well. Yeah. And I prepared perfectly. I know I smashed all the interviews. There was group interviews, and I knew I did better than some of the other people. Yeah. I did great. I prepared so well. There was like 3 or 4 interviews, and they really liked me. They gave me good feedback. And then I didn't get it, and I was like, oh man, I was so upset. Like,
it's way more devastating, isn't it?
I was so upset. And then a month later, it was COVID, so there was nothing. And I was just like, oh man, I've tried so hard. I know I did, and I know I gave absolutely everything. Yeah. And that's what I was scared of the year before, because what if I do give my everything and it's not enough? And
it's not good enough. Yeah.
And I was so disappointed, and I was just like, damn, I didn't get it. And then, but I was like, okay, well, I felt just very disappointed, but I was like, okay, we'll just keep going until next time. I had a few other similar ones over the years, but then when I got this internship at Banijay 2022, when it got to that, I was like, I need to get it. But when I saw everybody else there, the level was so high, I was kind of like, I know I've given everything. So if I don't get it, that's not on me. I know everyone there was so good. If I don't get it, and they said, we're going to let everyone know in a couple of weeks, they let me know the next day, and I was on my way to a night out on a Friday night. I had a few beers. I was like tearing up. I was like, I can't believe I've done it. I can't believe I did it. I rang my mum and dad straight away. They was all crying. I was crying, and I was just like, I've done it. And then when I got there, I was like, okay, now I'm here. I need to make sure I'm here, because it was only 12 weeks.
Was it? I thought it was a 6-month thing.
No, it's only 12 weeks. It's only a 12-week internship, but we all got extended. Yeah. And I was like, wow, I've been extended. And I was just like, whatever happens now, I'm just going to try my best and then see what happens. And luckily, at the time, Big Brother was coming back, and I got to meet the producer. And the lady that ran the internship, Beth, she knew the producer, Jack, for Task. She was like, go and speak to him, go and ask him. I'll try and set something up. Because they needed somebody that could drive to be one of the runners.
Right, okay.
But he also wanted me to be not just a runner, like to come up with ideas. Like, I come up with one of the tasks that was on our show last year, and like, I actually contributed.
Can you tell me what task it is?
Yeah, it's done now. So it was the task on the last, not the Celeb series, the last Civilian series. Yeah. And basically, it was the 3rd episode, and they all had to get in a bed. Like a really big bed.
Yeah,
and
I
whoever
remember
stayed
that.
in the longest.
Yeah,
I watched that. I have all my ideas. I thought it wasn't the best, but they really liked it. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And when I was working on Big Brother, it was an amazing experience. Everyone was so nice. Yeah. The team was great, and I was learning so much. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually here. So I was just embracing it, sort of thing. Yeah. And then from there on out, I've just met people, and it's helped me to get further on in my career. So now, the way I see it now, working in this industry, because obviously it is difficult, but at the same time, I do feel sorry for people that can't get work, me included sometimes, but it's a very cutthroat industry. It's like any other industry. You need to make your own luck at the same time. So if you're good at something and you keep trying with this, you're going to get there. So so now I'm just truly blessed to be where I am, because even though sometimes I'm like, wow, I'm going long stretches without working and stuff. Yeah. But
freelance is hard.
It is, but I think back to say 2 years ago when I had none of this. Yeah. And I was just slaving away at Sainsbury's, and I had more money like each month, but I was like, I would have killed to be in this position right now. So sometimes I'm like, wow, it's like, I really wish I was doing more. But I know that 2 years ago, I was desperate to be here. Yeah. I was desperate.
I know, it's true. And you do have to remember that all the time, because I'm the same. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, my hours are so long.
Yeah.
You do really long hours, you work weekends, like things become really antisocial a lot of the time. But then I'm like, wait, obviously I prefer to be doing this than like most other jobs.
When you sent me your CV a couple of months ago, I didn't realise how much stuff you've done. So how did you get into TV?
I did an internship as well. Oh no, I did like a 4-week work experience thing. And then off the back of that, they hired me as their like full-time office runner.
Oh, cool.
And then...
So you've got like quite a lot of credits. What's like the biggest show you've worked on, like production-wise?
Well, now Big Brother.
Yeah, of course.
It's definitely the biggest one.
You've done MasterChef, haven't you?
MasterChef I did for a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say they're probably the biggest ones.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It's so fun.
And you meet this people, and then they go, oh, and then they suggest somebody, and it's like, oh, let's all work together, kind of thing, which is really nice. So
it is fun. Do you think you want to stay in like faction entertainment TV?
I'll do whatever, to be honest. I mean, I'm not fast. I'm happy to do whatever because it's just interesting to do a bit of anything. I'm happy to just do whatever because as long as I'm being used in a creative way, or even just to be in the industry is great. My last job, Soccer Aid, was great fun, but I was pretty much just doing production, like just setting up, because all the editorial roles were filled by people more experienced than me. Yeah. So I managed to get on production because I've always wanted to work on Soccer Aid because it's football as well. Yeah. So I wasn't doing anything creative, but I had the best time working on it anyway. So I was like, great, maybe I can do it next year. Yeah. But yeah, I'm happy to do whatever. Like, it all sounds fun. To me, it's all the same. It's all transferable. Do you know what I mean?
I want to know what it was like working in Sainsbury's.
Really? Okay. Do you know what?
8 years is a really long time.
8 years. So I first started working at Sainsbury's.
How old were you when you started?
18. So when I was 17, me and my friends put down £100 deposit each to go to Magaluf in the summer of 2015. Okay. So I had never worked before in my life. Yeah. Ever in my life.
So you just finished your A-levels, all of that?
Yeah, so halfway through the A-levels, that's when we made the deposit, sort of October, November time.
That's such a classic post A-levels.
I know, yeah.
That's so funny.
When we at the end of the year, well, around Christmas time, I got 2 Christmas temp jobs, and I was terrible at them. So I worked at Foot Asylum, which is like a trainer shop. The one in Croydon, and it was such a rubbish.
That sounds like a difficult job.
It was such a rubbish job, and I just didn't enjoy it because you don't really know what you're doing. It's just like, oh, should I be doing this? Should I be talking to this customer? I'm just like, I don't know anything about clothes or trainers, and I was just like, whatever, okay, cool. And then I kind of just left that one, but then I got another Christmas temp job, literally opposite that place at Next, and it was really busy at Christmas, and then that was easier, but again, it's sort of like. There was no direction sort of thing, and it was only for like a month or so, and I earned quite a lot of money for me at the time, and I was great. I had enough money to pay for my holiday, but then I didn't work until May. That's when I got my job at Sainsbury's. So I worked at a brand new one in Fulham Wharf in Fulham. Okay.
Isn't that quite far from where you live?
No, it's only half an hour. So it's southwest London, so it's not that far. Okay. So it's just behind it's Clapham Junction basically. It's right behind Clapham Junction.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I worked there for 6 months, and I enjoyed it. I was just on the checkouts 3 times a week, Friday.
Are you on the checkouts in Sainsbury's?
Yeah, so when I first started working it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I used to go Thursday, Friday after school, and then Saturday. And they were all just 4-hour shifts, so it was easy.
Oh my God, that's so
I was
short.
doing 12 hours, let's say like £8.50 an hour. So I was making like £100 a week for like an 18-year-old. That's more than I needed, sort of thing. Yeah. So I thought, this is great. And then after 6 months, because I went to uni, I moved over to uni.
Where'd you go to uni?
Kingston University.
Oh yeah.
So I was uni in London. If I go back in time, I never would have went, but. Even though I enjoyed it, but
I kind of feel the same.
I just did it because everybody else was doing it.
Yeah,
and
same.
I didn't go because my girlfriend at the time when I was 18, I was like, oh, well, if I go to uni outside London, I'm never going to see her again. Which is just the dumbest thing ever to do. And you know what's funny? She went to uni a year later and then we split up anyway. So I was just like, well, so she went to uni in Brighton and then we split up anyway. And I was just like, well, that was such a waste of time.
Oh, no.
But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. But 6 months into when I was working at the Fulham Sainsbury's, I was like, well, I'm doing so much travelling because I'm going to uni as well. Kingston's not that far from Fulham, and it's not that far from me either because it's southwest London. It's near Wimbledon.
That feels quite far.
Wimbledon's not that far. It's only like not even an hour away. It's southwest.
Yeah, an hour. That's quite a long time, I think.
Door to door, like less than an hour. But yeah, it's not that far. Okay. So I would do. After that, I switched stores because at Sainsbury's, once you work there for 6 months, you can switch to a different store.
My brother did that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I switched to the one in Bromley, which is a 20-minute drive, not even a 20-minute drive for me, 15-minute drive. But at the time I didn't drive yet, but the bus from my house went directly to Bromley Town Centre, which is about, on a good day, 30 to 40 minutes, door to door. And I didn't have to make any changes like I did the one to Fulham. So I was like, oh, this is great. So I started working there. And do you know what, even though I didn't want to work there, but I loved working there because it was easy. I made friends they're still friends that I speak to every day that I met there 8 years ago. I'm still friends with them now.
And did you stay in Bromley then for the next 8 years?
Yeah, I did. So from 2015 to 2023, I worked there for 8 years.
And what was the size of it? Was it like a superstore Sainsbury's?
It was a superstore, but it was smaller than the one I worked in, but I wasn't on checkouts. When I went over to Bromley, I was working on fruit and veg. I loved it. And like the team that I have was so great. I still speak to them now. Like I speak to
What does fruit and veg staff do?
It's the easiest job ever. Honestly, you're just refilling the shelves all day.
Okay.
That's it.
And you didn't get bored?
No, I loved it because you could walk around. When you're working on checkouts, it's very not strict, but
can't move.
Yeah, and also your breaks are timed because
yeah.
someone else has got to go on a break, and the queues get busy and stuff. Whereas you can just be on the back, you can be walking around, you can be on your phone. It was so easy.
You're just chilling.
Yeah, you're chilling, and I did genuinely work hard at my job, but I wasn't like, oh, do you know what I mean? It wasn't.
You weren't stressed.
It wasn't like I loved it. I really, really loved it. So.
Oh, that's so nice.
It was great for me.
And was it always 4 days a week for the whole 8 years?
Well, actually, from when I first started working there, 2015 till about 2018, it was 3 days a week. But when I finished uni, the guy that I worked with, he was away for a few weeks on holiday, and Sainsbury's went through a big change where they got rid of all the team leaders. They could either become managers full time, or they could go. Like just become a full-time colleague or do 4 days a week, and a lot of people just took their redundancy pay and left. So a lot of the Sainsbury's store was short-staffed because they had to pay loads of people out. So for a few months I was full-time, but I wasn't doing anything else, and I needed to get a new car. So I was like, yeah, I was happy to do it.
Yeah.
And then COVID, I went full-time for a few months because there was nothing else to do, and I was just happy to be working. I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't. There was just nothing to do.
What was it like working there during COVID?
It was fine. It was like
it was not stressful.
No.
Really?
Yeah, it was fine. That's when I sort of knew that COVID's not going to be a big deal for me and just regular healthy people.
Because you were kind of just facing it.
I was around people. I was really worried at the start, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get sick."
Yeah.
But when I realised I was around people all day, every day, and I didn't get sick once, none of us did.
Yeah.
I was like, "This is fine."
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, and also I loved it during COVID because it gave me something to do. Because I couldn't go to the gym, I couldn't meet up with my friends, I couldn't go to the pub. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely loved seeing people when working. So I was grateful to be working.
Yeah.
And I saved so much money because I wasn't going out. Petrol was so cheap at the time. Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, great for me. Have you worked any other like retail jobs or anything?
No.
Don't you work at like a pub or something?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. In the last year I've worked at 2 different bars for a bit.
That's something I could never do, by the way.
You would love it.
No, I couldn't do working in a bar.
No, you would love it.
I get bad. I'm not a nervous person at all.
Yeah.
But I get bad anxiety thinking about working in a pub or something because you've got to like get people's orders right, or you don't want to spill the drinks or the food. I couldn't do it.
Masai, I'm not joking. You would love it.
No, I wouldn't.
I've been told like a million times by people that I'm dyspraxic. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like
very
kind of have issues with coordination. So like I'm super clumsy. I fall over all the time.
I wouldn't say that
I spill stuff all the time.
Okay.
Oh my god! In my first ever driving lesson that I ever had.
Oh, you had a driving lesson? Can you drive now?
No, this is in COVID. This is in 2020. I had driving lessons for a few months.
Okay, fair.
And second lockdown happened, whatever. But in the first lesson, the teacher was like, "Has anyone ever told you that you're like dyspraxic?" And I was like, "Do you know what? Yeah, people tell me that all the time." And he was like,
"That makes sense."
Yeah, I think you are because what you're doing isn't. It's not what you're meant to.
Do you think
doing.
that's a dyspraxic thing? Because I was terrible at driving. Like
no. He was like, I've taught loads of dyspraxic people, and you definitely have it. He was like, you will learn one day, but it's going to take you a really long time.
To me, the average student takes 4 to 5 months. It took me 16 months for doing a lesson every week. 16 months. Really and I failed 3 times. I was that terrible. But for me, I think it was for me. Yeah, because 2 weeks after I passed my test, I got my own car, and then when I was driving by myself, I didn't feel the pressure anymore because I knew I wasn't being examined. Yeah. And it wasn't anything to do with my teacher. My driving instructor was amazing. He taught my older sister, me, and my younger brother, and he's taught loads of my friends. Yeah. So it wasn't him, it was me.
You should hit me up with him. Maybe I should give it another
Yeah. But he lives in like Bromley, so it might be a bit of a...
No, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, he's really, really good. But he taught like all my family, and it wasn't because of him. I used to just get like, oh my God, I'm so nervous if I get this wrong. And I was just sweating.
So were you just nervous about getting it wrong? Because my nervous was always about killing someone.
It was more the accident, yes, at first, but no, for me it was really about getting things wrong.
Oh yes,
I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to fail. No, I hated that. I used to get so frustrated with myself. Yeah. And when I passed, it was the best feeling ever. Honestly, literally started crying.
Did you get one of those photos on Instagram holding your little?
Yeah. There's a picture if you scroll down my Instagram, and I'm wearing like these really tight skinny jeans.
Yeah, that's
and my driver instructor, he gave me a big hug. And we're still friends now. Like it's funny. The reason I know him and he became my driving instructor When I was in about year 5, year 6, I used to get tutored like English and maths and all of the. What was the other one? There was like English, maths, and there was like
science.
No, it was kind of like a multiple choice. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the subject name. Anyway, I used to get tutored by this lady who lives around the corner from us, and my sister's about 5 years older than me, and she was about to start her driving lessons, and then my mum and my tutor were talking. She was like, "Oh, my daughter's going to start driving lessons, and we're trying to find an instructor." She was like, "Oh, my husband's a driving instructor."
Oh,
and that's how we know each other. So like I've literally known them and their family since I was like 9 or 10.
Oh, that's really nice.
And yeah, he taught my brother a few years ago. He taught my friend.
That would be really good for the sort of anxiety of learning to drive if you knew the person.
And he really helped me because when we were driving, we would just talk about football and life. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And like we follow each other on Instagram and stuff. And I bumped into him maybe I think a couple of years ago at East Croydon. Yeah. And actually, because he lives in Bromley, speaking of Sainsbury's, sometimes he would come in and we'd be chatting for ages.
Oh,
and
so nice.
I bumped into him at East Croydon. I was coming home from the gym a couple of years ago. And we were just talking for like half an hour on the street. Like, he's a great guy. Yeah, he's really, really good.
Oh my God, okay, hit me up.
What time is it? Oh, we've only got 20 minutes left. You know what's mad? Time just flies when we're doing these things. It's just like, it does, yeah. I was going to ask you this. That's what I remember at the start. Have you ever done anything like this, like a live radio or TV show?
No, never.
So you've never been sort of on camera?
Well, I've been behind the scenes of live TV.
Yeah, but you've never actually contributed sort of like on the screen?
Never on screen, no.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I've ever done is, I didn't even do it, but do you know who Professor Higgs is?
No.
So he's a scientist who invented the Higgs boson. Do you know what that is?
No. Sorry, can I just plug in my thing? I'm worried about this about dying battery. I know it's fine, but just to be double sure. Sorry.
Do you remember like a few years ago when everyone was like the world's going to end because they were recreating the Big Bang?
What, in 2012?
No, I can't remember when it was.
The Big Bang? No, I don't remember that.
But basically there was this big scientific thing where it was called the Higgs boson. This machine, they recreated the Big Bang basically to work out what happened in the Big Bang. Whatever. The man who invented that went to my school. Long story short, he came to my school, they did a news report, and I was filmed in the video. And that was on the news. And that was very exciting for me.
That's cute.
But that is the only time, I think.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
That's it.
Would you ever want to do sort of on the screen stuff? Because you seem, to be honest, you've been quite a good interviewer. I can't lie. It's been quite natural for you. One of the things that I need to work on when it comes to interviewing people and speaking to people in this sort of setting, because I get so excited. And I have been really trying to work on it the last few months. Yeah. Because I get so excited, I just want to talk.
You're so chatty.
Yeah, sometimes even though I'm a good listener, sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to shush just so I can let the other person get a word in.
That's what I'm saying about structure.
No, it's not like, this is just my...
No, but I just mean in terms of timekeeping, if you were worried about that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about timekeeping, it's just more,
fair.
Wow, I need to be better. Like, I have really improved since I first started doing this.
Yeah.
Because I've made a conscious effort. But still, I get so excited and passionate talking about whatever. And I'm like, okay, now you got to be quiet now. You got to let them speak. But do you know what? You're very good at this. I think you should start your own podcast or show.
I actually get told that quite a lot.
Yeah, because you could obviously, I'm very fortunate to be doing it in this platform, but you can actually do all of this in your house, because if you just get a tripod and get some mics, anyone can do it, sort of thing.
I know, it's true, yeah. It's just, I mean, as we were talking about this earlier, like, investing in the equipment and all that stuff is quite a big jump.
To be honest, the only expensive thing has been the laptop.
Yeah.
All of these tripods were like, all in all together are like 20 quid.
But like a good mic, I don't know how,
these mics are really good. But the only thing is if you want to hold something, but what I'm saying is you could easily just tape this to a water bottle, it doesn't really matter. And if
really?
But like these ones, because I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah. Same.
Most people that have, I watch a lot of interviews as well.
Yeah, same.
And if you watch, say, even documentaries, whether it's like Louis Theroux or whatever, the mics that they've got on are attached to their shirt. It's very rare that you see these. I mean, you still do see them, but when it's...
I would love to hold one of them one day. It feels quite old school.
I know, but I feel like my hand would get tired. Say you're doing this for an hour and a half.
In my head, it's only sports presenters who do that now. Whenever I'm watching,
they sports presenters still do it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite presenter in the world?
Man, I have so many broadcasters I admire, and I'm like,
someone I would know though.
Someone that you would know.
Don't say someone rogue.
I like ones that the ones that I really like. You're not gonna know.
Okay.
I like Dermot O'Leary. He's really good.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed with. So you know how I've been working at the Irish Centre, the London Irish Centre.
Yeah. And obviously he's like Irish heritage.
He is one of our patrons, so he comes in all the time.
Oh really? Okay.
And I've been desperate to meet him, and I've never been there when he's come in.
I met him on Soccer Aid.
Oh my god, I'm
he's
jealous.
The nicest guy ever.
Everyone tells me he's the nicest guy ever.
Everyone says he's the nicest guy, but
I'm obsessed with him.
There's this for a couple of shows now on Big Brother and Soccer Aid. There's this guy called Dylan. I want to give him a shout out because he's got this great van business, and it's especially made for TV because he used to work in telly.
Okay.
And he was
Oh
saying,
my god, I know Dylan.
Dylan Thornton.
He came on MasterChef. He like moved
Oh,
some stuff about.
yeah.
Yeah, he's so nice.
But,
Shout out Dylan.
Yeah. So do you know Caitlin?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's how they know each other. Because
Oh, okay.
my researcher on Big Brother or AP now called Nikki, she set up this for one of our tasks. We needed to get a bath.
Oh, and Caitlin knew Dylan.
And Nikki knew Dylan, and then she then needed Dylan, and then she met them through him, and then me and Caitlin just happened to work with each other on Soccer Aid, and they already knew each other, and I already knew Dylan, so we met out with him loads of times on Soccer Aid.
World.
I know. Anyway,
That's so funny.
when we wrapped Soccer Aid, we had to take all of the gear back to Balajay, and Dylan met us, and I was like, oh yeah, obviously we got to meet Dermot, and he was lovely, and he was like, yeah, I was working. He said he was working at ITV. And he was like, I didn't really want to work on...
Who, Dermot said this, or Dylan?
No, Dylan was saying to him...
Oh, yeah.
He was like, he was really taking an interest in him. Like, oh, how are you? How are you? He was like, oh yeah, I'm working in TV. I'm enjoying it, but I'd rather much be working on radio. And he said, he was like, okay, I'll try and see if I can sort something. He got him like a few shifts on BBC Radio.
What?
Like, just from that. And then he was like, everyone that I've met that has worked with Dermot O'Leary or got to meet him, I mean, I've only met him briefly in passing.
Yeah.
But everyone says the same thing, that he's the nicest guy.
Everyone says that at the Irish Centre. Oh my god, I'm gutted that I didn't get to meet him.
Yeah, but I'm sure you will work. He works so much. I mean, he does so many shows, and he's a great guy. So I think he's amazing from what I've heard. I mean, I've only met him briefly.
And a great broadcaster.
He's a...
We'll give him that.
Because I do try and take a bit from each broadcaster that I look up to and stuff.
Yeah.
And he is just an ultimate professional where he's so good with his words, and he's just very efficient with his words. And there's a lot of people that I look up to, and I try to take a bit from each of them and then do it in your own style, because I think it's never good to copy someone, because you have to be original in your own style.
Yeah.
But it's also good to take the positives that they do and maybe I could do this and maybe I could do that. So I do look at people like him and other people, and I'm thinking, yeah, I could do something like that, and just take it a bit like that and try and enhance it.
Yeah. Who else would be someone that you're taking inspiration from?
Who else would you know?
Just like mainstream presenters that I would know. I would know some sports ones.
Okay.
Try.
Do you know? Okay, well, he does the UFC commentary.
No.
So you might know Joe Rogan. Do you know him?
Yeah.
But he does the UFC commentary.
What? Is that why he's famous?
Well, he's got the biggest podcast in the world. But
Yeah, I thought he was famous
But
just for podcast.
I originally knew him from UFC. I didn't even know he had a podcast, and then I found out about his podcast. Yeah, he's been doing the UFC commentary for like 30 years.
I've never heard his podcast. So I don't really know anything about him. I just know everyone hates him.
His podcast is, well, he gets like a wide range of guests. So I was listening to his thing the other day. He interviewed Adam Sandler. But then like the next episode, he might interview a scientist. So
I thought his vibe was that he was like a misogynist kind of weirdo or something.
No, he's it's weird. A lot of
He's
people,
definitely not liked by a lot of people.
a lot of people.
I don't know why.
A lot of people don't like him, but I think a lot of people who've never listened to his show, they think he's like some right wing nut job.
Yeah.
But he's not, because if you actually listen to his views, he's very, for example, he's pro gay rights. He's pro, what's the word where something basic income, everyone should have like
like universal.
Yeah, universal basic income. He said everyone should have a right to a home. But he's big on things like, because he's an American, he loves guns, and he loves things like. So he's quite down the middle.
That's not great.
He's quite, but that's how a lot of Americans are. Yeah. He's quite down the middle, and he believes in things like. You can work hard and do stuff like that, and he's been poor most of his life. So for me, he's quite moderate sort of thing. But I think when you get people who are, not to get political, but people that are very far left or very far right, people that are kind of moderate, they'll be like, oh, you're right-wing nut job, or you're a communist left-wing. Do you know what I mean? People just get too torn up in these things. But he's very good. I mean, if you actually just listen, because he's interviewed loads of people that I admire as well. Yeah, I've learned a lot from him as well, because the first time I actually, because I knew about him from the UFC for years, but I didn't even know he had a podcast. Yeah. And the first time I actually listened to one of his episodes, like 5 years ago, he interviewed Louis Theroux. And he'd interviewed him quite a few times.
Okay. And I should listen to that. I would find
that interesting. But the last time he interviewed him was like 5 years ago, but it was fascinating. And they're talking about how he, obviously you know about Louis Theroux, and he goes to like all of these.
He came into the Irish Centre as well.
Did he?
Yeah, I met him.
Okay, yeah. But he, excuse me, he like in those Louis Theroux episodes, and he's going to all of these like Westboro Baptist Church, and they're screaming horrible things, and he's going down south, and you've got like all these anti-Semitic people saying things about like horrible things about Jewish people.
Yeah.
And he's asking them about that, and you get he has like a wide range of guests.
Yeah, he goes to the extremes.
Yeah, and also what I like about him is when he clearly disagrees with someone. Like there was this, he had on like this quite, not far right, but he had this right-wing guy on, who's always saying like these, not anti-trans stuff, but he's very, like about the whole trans issue, but he was sort of saying how gay marriage is like bad or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like saying, well, why? It's just, if two guys love each other, they should be able to do what they want. And he's like, oh yeah, but they can't. I believe that marriage should be to sort of procreate children, sort of thing. And he's like, well, Joe Rogan was saying, well, if a woman is like infertile, should that marriage not work? And he's like, oh, well, that's not the same. And he's like, well, how's it not the same? It's exactly the same. And then he sort of schooled him on like, say, gay marriage. But then people will look at other clips where he might be say, oh, I believe that guns should be illegal for Americans, or I think that men should be trained in martial arts and be strong. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like, I get why people, if you see like a little...
It's just like controversial.
I wouldn't say he's, because he's not trying to grift people into being, but like,
being pro-guns, I think in itself is quite controversial.
Well, in America it's not.
Yeah, but I only know people from
Yeah,
the UK.
because I met these Americans, funnily enough, when I was in Rome, and they're like the nicest, sweetest people. And they were like so lovely, but they love guns because they're Americans. And they were asking me about how, and I was saying how in the UK, if you say you like guns, it's like a big thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't want guns in the UK. I don't want guns here at all because I think we're better without them. But it would be impossible now to take guns out of America. That's just, it's just in their culture. Do you know what I mean?
loads of Americans that hate it though. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, and then especially when there's an awful school shooting, the debate comes up again. But I just don't think you're ever going to get rid of that issue. Do you know what I mean in America?
Yeah.
But to each their own.
So Joe Rogan and Dermot O'Leary.
But there's another guy, like Louis Theroux's another one.
Very different style again.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I like a bit of people that are, and even when I was doing Big Brother, the first time I done it, I was watching obviously the rehearsal because in our offices, but there's a constant live stream. So we would see AJ and Will, like Will Best, practicing all the time, and I'd be watching them just like, wow, these guys are so good. And they've got a lot of experience, and I like all kinds of people. Like Maya Jama's great on Love Island. She's one of my favourite presenters.
Yeah, she's great.
There's so many people that I can just list off, but yeah, I like to take a bit from everyone. Sort of thing. Excuse me.
You're right. It's definitely one of those things that the more you practice, I'm sure the more you sort of like work out what you want your style to be. I feel like you probably already have your style. It's kind of just your personality, isn't it? Yeah,
that's like I was saying. That's why I don't really like to. So I'm a bit blocked up. I don't really like to rehearse things because I just like it to be natural. Obviously, you can fine tune things and you can always do your research to make sure you're prepared with, so you know what you're talking about and stuff. But I think the art of conversation, especially on like a podcast setting, it's just one, being a good listener is really, really important. And two, if obviously I know you, so I don't have to be sort of thingy, but if there was someone that was coming in, like there's a people that I want to, sorry, a bit blocked up. Sorry. There's like a few people that I really want to speak to. There's like these people that I sort of know, like on Instagram, and I'm going to reach out to them soon. So there's one guy I want to speak to, he's an actor.
Okay.
And he's not like a big actor or anything. Yeah. But I'm going to do my research on him to see what he's been in so I can ask him about this, what's out next sort of thing. Yeah. Little things like that are really important. But for sure. Yeah, I think it's just knowing what you're talking about and just, I don't know, being direct and just, I think that's the best way to do it. And also, like I said, listening is the key. That is the key. So if you're a good listener and you remember things, that's the best way to speak to people. And just in general, like how you speak to people all the time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, ask questions, ask good questions, thought-provoking questions, 100%. Just be locked in. Do you know what I mean? Oh, and eye contact. That's very, very important. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. You've got to be convincing kind of thing. I just talk how I talk in real life. Do you know what I mean? So there's no, I don't know, I don't like to change it up. I just like to do it sort of
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And what are your favourite podcasts that you mostly listen to?
There are, to be honest, most of the ones I listen to are about fighting.
And when you say fighting, what are you talking about?
Mainly mixed martial arts, a little bit of boxing. So MMA is...
should we talk about Molly May?
Oh, yeah. Are you...
Speaking of boxing.
You must be devastated.
Why?
She's like your hero, right?
That's sarcasm.
Because I'm sure once, I don't know if it was like a mistake.
Just because she has my name.
No. But I'm sure once you posted on your story, I don't know if you were out on like an hour. I think I'm pretty sure you promptly deleted it. But there was like a 20. What year was Molly on Love Island?
I don't know her.
Okay, inside voices. But I'm pretty sure it was 2019, and I'm sure you posted like a year or so ago. You was out
You're
with your
gonna say
friends.
something
It
embarrassing.
was like a Molly May edit
This
and
isn't-
Tommy, and they had like the. It was like when she gave
You're just trying to
birth.
embarrass me.
No, honestly, I actually really like Molly May. Obviously, I don't know these people, but I really admire what she's done. And because on Love Island, I found her quite annoying.
I didn't watch that series,
It was
so
bri-
I
it
actually
was
didn't
brilliant.
really ever understand who they were.
I never.
But I know it's a big deal that they've broken up.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's really quite shocking.
Yeah.
How are the boxing community taking it?
The boxing community doesn't care.
Oh, really?
No, they don't care.
Did you watch the documentary about the Furies on
That was
Netflix?
brilliant.
I
did you?
loved that.
It was great.
That's everything I know about boxing is that documentary.
It's brilliant, isn't it? And Tyson Fury,
So
he's
good.
one of my favorite.
He's so interesting.
He's one of my favorite boxers. He's one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
It's weird because he doesn't look like he's going to be like the best boxer ever.
He's 6'9", and he's a gypsy. Like the gypsies are this incredible. They love fighting. They really pride themselves in being tough. And Tyson he's one of the greatest boxers I've ever seen. Really, and if you look at him, he doesn't look fit at all.
No.
But
And he's quite old.
He's not that old. He's like 34. He's not old for a heavyweight. He's quite young.
Oh.
But he's been
But
boxing.
you know, most sports people often end when they're
Yeah,
like
but he's been
30.
boxing his whole life, sort of thing. But yeah, he's only lost one fight in his career, and that was only a few months ago. And
Yeah, well, that was sad,
it was a great one of
Do
the.
you think he's going to come back?
Well, they got a rematch in January. Sorry, December.
What?
Yeah, so he fought Alexander Usyk,
Oh my god.
undisputed heavyweight world
Which he
champion.
kept talking about in the documentary. He kept being like, I want to fight Usyk. Oh.
No, I think it was he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua in the documentary.
No, but Usyk, I remember he was talking about him all the
Usyk
time.
was
He
mentioned-
was watching him.
Yeah, so
Or something.
Usyk fought AJ, but before that,
Oh,
in the lead up to that, because for years,
Did AJ lose in that one?
yeah, so he lost to Usyk twice.
Oh,
Because
no.
it's funny, Usyk's not even a heavyweight. He's actually the weight class below. He's much smaller than both of them, but he's such a good boxer.
Wow.
He can beat anybody. And for
That's
me,
mad.
Alexander Usyk is the greatest boxer in the world right now. For me, he's pound for pound
Well, it
number
sounds
one.
like he is if he's beating everyone.
And not that no one thought he could beat Tyson, but I didn't think he would beat Tyson because I think they're just as good as each other ability-wise. But because of the size,
Yeah.
I just thought Tyson would win. And they're just as good as each other, in my opinion. But it was such a great fight. And there's this app called Verdict MMA. So when there's MMA events, you can score each round. So you can tally up the score how you think they won.
Okay.
So the way you score boxing and MMA fights, what time is it? I've only got 3.5 minutes. The way you score MMA and boxing fights is that, say you and me are fighting.
Yeah.
If you think that you won that round, yeah,
Yeah.
that's 10-9 to you. So you won that round 10-9.
Okay.
But if you say you drop me, let's say you drop me on the floor, but I get back up and the fight's not over, that's automatically a 10-8 round because you've beaten me quite badly.
Okay.
But usually, most rounds, people are not getting dropped. Do you get what I'm saying? So I scored that each round. I scored it 6-6, 6 rounds each. So it would have been a draw. But I think it was in the 9th round, Usyk drops Tyson Fury.
Okay.
Like he's nearly finished. It was a clear 10-8. So I actually scored the rounds even, but that one round, because he would have got, instead of 1 more point, he got 2 extra points. For me, he won it basically by 2 points. That whole fight, that flight went the distance. It was 36 minutes, but it flew by. It felt like 5 minutes.
36 minutes, wow.
One of the best boxing matches I've ever seen, and they're going to rematch in December. I can't wait.
How much they're being paid for December?
Oh, they're making they probably made about minimum 30 million each in that first fight. Minimum. And they're probably going to make about 40 million each this time.
Oh my god.
It's incredible. Well, actually, saying that, that's incorrect.
Mad.
Well, it might be not incorrect, but Tyson, the split would have been about 65-35 or 70-30 to Tyson.
Really? Why does he get so?
Because he's the heavyweight champ and he's the bigger
Okay.
draw. But now that Usyk's the champ, he's champion on both weight classes
get
and he
more?
won. He'll get more of the money this time round.
Oh my god, Tyson's gonna hate that.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about that. He wants to win. Do you get what I mean? It's the pride of winning. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
So
god. Oh, I feel bad for him. If he loses again, he'll be devastated.
he will be. But that's fighting. That's the game they play. It's a
Yeah.
dangerous game. And Usyk's never
is.
been beaten either. That
Really?
was Tyson Fury's first ever loss.
That's mad.
There's 2 of the best boxers I've ever seen in my life.
Did you watch it at home?
Yeah, I watched it with my dad and my mate. We watched
Yeah.
it. It was incredible. What a fight. I can't wait for the
Wow.
rematch. I'm getting so excited thinking about it. But yeah,
Really?
I love fighting. I love fighting. It's
You
great.
love people beating each other up.
Yeah, but I don't do it for the brutality. I mean, it is brutal. It is brutal a lot of
Yeah.
the time. But it's the skill and the emotion, and you
it's
see the
very
trash talk in
intense.
the lead up, and it's like you put yourself out there.
It's very theatrical, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really
Yeah.
is, and it's very emotional. And then
Yeah.
it's just brilliant. I love
Yeah,
it so
high
much.
risk.
It is because
Very
they're
high
literally
stake
putting their
and-
lives on the
yeah.
line.
That's why I can't watch it. I just think it's
Oh, no,
so
have
bad.
you ever watched a boxing match?
No.
I'll send you some fights to
No.
watch. No, trust me, you'll like it.
No.
Oh, I've only got 50 seconds left. Oh, we might have to do this next week. We can do it. But
We can do next
should
week.
If we do next week, and if you're free, I know you're busy.
Yeah.
But can we do maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yes, we can.
Oh, this has been great. I can't. This has been so much fun.
It's been
and
so fun. Thank
what
you
I'll
for
do
having
is,
me.
what we can do, what we can do, I'm going to send you some fights to watch.
Okay.
And you can tell me which fights you like to watch. I'm going to send you 3 or 4.
Okay.
I'll send you
my
2.
thoughts.
I'm going to send you 2 UFC fights.
Mhm.
And I'm going to send you 2 boxing fights.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me which ones you liked best.
Okay.
And you're going to rank them in order.
We can debrief.
But what I'll do is I'll send you like the highlights version, so you can get like some backstory and then
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do.
Cool.
I can't wait. Okay.
That sounds good.
We've got 15 seconds left. This has been the Off the Cuff Show with my friend May and Masai Lincoln. We'll be back next week and we're going to talk about some fights and everything else. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You.
Right. All right, we're done.